So I want to add something to my movie, like Scissor 7 movie trailer analysis. So I got a comment on my main video on YouTube by @mewowzers. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I did get their permission to talk about this. Cool. So their comment says, quote, "As someone who is on Red Note, parentheses, Chinese TikTok, and parentheses, I haven't seen anything more in terms of news since the trailer dropped, which means Chinese fans probably don't have anything either. People on Red Note did add that it's not usually in character for Seven to go straight to killing his opponents, though, which is true, and also more evidence for why I think this trailer is a dream sequence / hinting that what's going on is something like what happened in Season 5, Episode 1, end quote." So I want to highlight this comment because I think that they brought up a really good point. I did have in my original script for my trailer analysis that it was strange that Seven legit said, I can do it with the least amount of bloodshed, whilst headshotting like 5 dudes in a hallway with blood. He goes for the kill multiple times, which is what they said. Like, he doesn't usually go straight to killing. Like, we've seen this. He's usually a pacifist, well, for the most part, but, like, he doesn't start with killing for the most part. There are a couple examples of him being 100% ready to throw down, but they're usually very situational. So it's not like with the Shadow Killers where he's backed into a corner and he has no other option but to kill the person in order to live or protect someone or run away. Now I'm thinking about it, a good point would probably be that he was hired to kill these guys specifically. The dialogue kind of hints to that he was hired to kill them, but it was likely that he was, like, more so I'm thinking he was likely hired to kill the boss and not necessarily the underlings. So I'm surprised that he's doing the violence to the underlings when he could just as easily knock them out, because he's Seven. He's capable of knocking them out. We've seen it 1,000 times. He knocks people out pretty easy. So why? Okay, so actually I was just slowing down the footage for this video, and I realized that he didn't necessarily kill anyone, although, like, I have the footage here, but, like, he knocks out 2 guys, right? And then he goes and seems to slice one guy's neck, blood, and then he slices another guy in the back, right? And then the next shot is of his scissors, like, going at some guy, and it zooms in on his eye, right? But then the next scene with the man is him just getting his mask cut off and then him falling to the ground. And then the next time we see him interacting with somebody physically, he is using him just for the door and then throwing him out of the way of the bullet. So maybe not as out of character as I thought. He only potentially kills, like, 2 people. But then he also, like, you know, I guess it's cartoon logic where, like, somebody getting knocked out does not mean they're going to die. But, like, that in real life, if somebody gets knocked out, there's a chance they can die from that. So, like, I can't rule out that he didn't just kill people, but, like, I can confirm he at least sliced one guy's neck and sliced the other guy in the back and then knocked out 3 other people and then tried to kill the leader, but that was obviously who he was targeting in the first place. So, like, yeah. So maybe not quite as out of character as I initially thought. What they propose, @mewowzers proposes, is that this trailer is like a dream sequence, or it's similar to the Mindscape tomfoolery that was happening at the beginning of Season 5. And to some extent, I see how that would fit in with the timeline confusion that I proposed, where it's like where in the timeline is this movie going to fit? So because we were left on a cliffhanger in at the end of season 5 where like 7 is knocked the fuck out on the ground and 13 is about to throw down, that doesn't really, like, to get that with the shadow killers and the crocodile trap at Black Rock Mountain, and then have him taking on a pig mafia in the middle of a crowded city, I'm not so sure. It would either have to be what they proposed, a dream sequence, or like the Mindscape tomfoolery. So like maybe this is in his head while he's knocked the fuck out, and then it picks up from after he wakes up, and then it picks up into the movie, and maybe they'll resolve the cliffhanger from season 5. But I think, honestly, I think it's more likely that this movie takes place nowhere near that at all. Like, we're either going to get season 6 beforehand, or we're going to get a, like, time skip, and it's going to be later on in the timeline or earlier on in the timeline. Because I'm not so sure how satisfying of an explanation that would be. Although Scissor 7, like, the creators have definitely managed to surprise me before. So, if it is a dream sequence, I think it would be a very, like, they'd manage to do it well. If it's not a dream sequence, then I'm pretty sure this movie doesn't take place at, like, around the end of season 5. And if it does, then it's situational. So again, at MeWowzers on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate your comment. And I appreciate you giving me permission to put this and to talk about this. Look forward to another conversation, friend. I absolutely love having, like, conversations about comments and stuff. So if you guys want to be featured or talked about, or you want to be a part of this discussion, please leave comments wherever you can. Like if on YouTube or on TikTok, I will see them and I will comment back and forth with you, and I will, if what you say piques my interest, then I will absolutely post another video like this talking about what you said, because I want there to be more discussion on this show and this movie, because I think that there's just, like, not enough actual talking to each other about it necessarily. At least from what I've seen, at least on, like, YouTube and stuff, is not as much, like, community, it feels like. And I love, like, all of my friends, I know they find me annoying because I always tell them, don't get me started on Scissor 7, because you'll just be sitting there and I'll just be ranting for like 2 hours, and then you won't have, you because you haven't seen it, or because you haven't, like, because you're not as passionate about it as me, you'll have nothing to say, and so it'll just be me talking at a brick wall. And I appreciate when the brick wall can talk back, you know? I don't even care if you guys use this as a promotional tool. Does not matter to me your intentions, as long as we're having a good conversation. That's all I care about. So, thank you. I hope that I can do this again. I hope that people have more interesting things to say to me, because I love this sort of discussion. So, enough rambling. Thanks so much. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.